Hello, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Rather than doing a text announcement this week, I thought it might be helpful to do a video announcement. And there were a couple of questions about the collaborative project and the progress reports. So I thought it might be helpful for you all if I did a announcement answering some of those questions. So let's jump right in. So the collaborative projects are going fantastic. I know that sometimes it can be really nerve-wracking doing a collaborative project in an online class, especially in a class that is accelerated, but you're all doing a wonderful job. Especially coming out of the pandemic, collaborative work online is such a important skill for students and for employees to have, and so you're really doing a great job working on those skills. The collaborative project has three main objectives. I'm really looking for in your final project that you can demonstrate critical thinking, communication, and teamwork. And so as you're putting together your project, those are the three areas that you really want to focus on. In regard to critical thinking, specifically what that means is I am looking for an engagement with the text, an opportunity for you to really kind of dig into the readings, and also provide research for support. And I would invite you to think about the research that you're including. I haven't said much about the types of sources you've been using in your discussion boards, but for the collaborative project, you want to make sure that your sources are legitimate, they're scholarly, they aren't necessarily just maybe the first thing you find on the internet. So think about the types of sources that you're using in your collaborative project. You also want it to demonstrate that you've really thought about the issue, that it's not something you kind of slap together the night before it's due, but you're really engaging with the readings. In regard to communication, I'll be looking for thinking about the topic and really unpacking it in your, whether it's you're doing a video or you're doing a presentation, a podcast, but really kind of engaging with the ideas and explaining them well and explaining them effectively. This would also require that you bring in outside sources. So thinking about if you're using slides, having speaker tags where you introduce the source, quotes for support, in-text citations, works cited pages, but not just relying solely on the sources. Remember that you are the author, and so you need to make sure that you're putting the ideas in your own words first, that the research supports the points that you're making, but you have to make the points first. And then in regard to teamwork, I'm looking for a project that everybody contributes to. So it's not just one person, the team lead, kind of doing the lion's share of the work or carrying the heavy load, but really, you have an introduction, everybody contributes to the presentation, whether it's talking during the video or adding slides, and then there's a conclusion and a references. But here is the lesson 8 kind of surprise. If you get to lesson 8 and it is not working with a teammate, you have the opportunity to either vote them off the island, so to speak, or to vote yourself off the island. And so this is kind of the escape hatch if you need one from this group project. That means that you would have to do the group project on your own. It doesn't need to be a full group project. It would still, if it's going to be a presentation, it would still need an introduction, it would still need slides, it would still need a conclusion, but it wouldn't have to be quite as many slides. And if you are the person who got voted off the island for not participating, you would have to produce a presentation all on your own. Create your own introduction, create your own slides, or if you're doing a video presentation, you can vote the person out where they can't participate in the video presentation, and they would either have to do one of their own or do a separate assignment all on their own. And it would negatively affect the student who got voted out, their participation. And so it wouldn't sink them for the course, right, or for the project. But if you get to lesson 8 and you realize this person is not pulling their fair share, they are not contributing and being a good teammate, then you have the option of kind of pulling the escape hatch, so to speak. Same for you. if you don't want to be that person that gets voted off the island. So I would encourage you to stay the course. And if you aren't, now is a good time to reach out to your teammates and kind of fall on that sword and do whatever you can to get caught up and back in their good graces. It happens in the real world. I have kicked people off of groups and kicked them out of committees because they didn't do the work. And not to say that I've ever been kicked out because I'm a type A overachiever, but it happens. And so that's kind of the clause, the so to speak, if you need one. But rarely does that happen. I think in all of my collaborative projects, I've maybe had a handful of times where that has happened. And so most of the time, everything goes well. So I have talked a little bit too long already, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. But if you have any questions, I'm always online. I'm always available. I answer email all day long. And so feel free to send me an email, or we can also meet in real time to answer any questions that you have. All right. Have a good day. Talk to you later.